Welcome to Runescape Dragonwilds. In this game, we play as an adventurer thrown in a world ruled by dragons. I'll be playing 100 in-game days with the goal of defeating the general dragon, Velgar. So join me as I conquer dungeons, master powerful rune abilities, build a cozy home, and craft myself some powerful armors and weapons. So come along as I take on 100 days of Runescape Dragonwilds. So let's begin. Alright, so we start here at this church. I found this wise old man right here, so I spoke with him and he will teach me all about the basics of the game. He then sent me outside to find a person called Doric. Oh, dragon. Wow. So I'm assuming that's like the boss we need to kill. I don't know. Anyways, back to the training. So I spoke with Doric and he tasked me of gathering water from a pond. Well, there are two ponds actually. So either the one on the top or the one at the bottom. I just need to gather some water for him. Alright, what an easy quest. So as I headed there, I found our first enemy. So this rat little thing. It looks friendly, but it suddenly tried to bite me, so I had to kill it. I'm sorry, little guy. And we got some animal first. Nice. He actually had more friends, so I continued to defeat them to get there first. Anyways, back to our original goal. So I collected myself some dirty water from this pond. I then brought it to Doric right here, and he then gave me another quest to make myself a crafting table and then a stone club. And in order to make this crafting table, I need to get something called an ash wood. Basically wood around the surrounding. I can't really break trees right now with my bare fist, so I just gathered some wood that were fallen on the ground. After I had enough materials, it was now time to make the crafting table and then the club. So looking at the items that I can make right now, it seems I can make a bunch of things. But I don't really have any materials. Also, I need some stone in order to make the stone club. So I gathered a bunch of stones that were scattered about in the ground. And finally, I got myself the stone club. Now, a decent weapon, not our iron fist. I also crafted myself a pickaxe so I can mine some stones. I'm not really sure how rare stones are on the ground, but it's always nice to have a pickaxe. Anyways, I just continued gathering materials for now so I can craft every other thing that I haven't crafted yet. And now I got myself the stone logging axe, and I will also craft myself the shield. And look at me, I'm ready for combat now. I can block the enemy's attack and I can swing my stone axe on their face. So moving on, I need to talk to another NPC to proceed with this tutorial quest. But since I saw a lot of enemies, why not try out my new club and the shield? They're both awesome, very useful. Okay, so for the next guy that we need to talk to, this is Vanaka, and he gave us a quest to cook some food for him. So I need to kill more of the rats and then cook their meat. I then found a bunch of these floating rocks. So I'm assuming these are the runes in RuneScape. Yes, I was right. Rune essence. So I mined up, of course. I'm not really sure how I can make use of them yet, but it's always nice to have them. Oh look, cool. Now we have unlocked a structure called a rune altar, and with that I think we can make the runes. There's this one thing though. When I tried mining a rock that was below, I mistakenly hit the one that was floating and it dropped down. So wow, okay, what a discovery. So now we can actually mine those things above as well. Okay, going back to the quest, my main goal was to look for rats so I can grab their meats and cook them. So I was actually making a mistake here because the target was not these rats. He mentioned cooking rat meat, but it wasn't these. I noticed when I just couldn't get some meat off of these rats. So this was a mistake. So the quest actually told me to go up here where there were these giant rats, and these were the targets that I need to defeat and grab their meat and cook them to eat. So yay, we need to like kill 3 of them. Also, because my attack level rose, I can now use something called parry. So if I time my block correctly, it will do like a perfect block where it stuns the enemy. But the problem is, timing is gonna be really hard. Or just get good, really. So here's my attempt. It seems I was too early. But like I said, yeah, the timing is gonna be hard since the reward is very good. It stuns the enemy. Anyways, before heading back to the camp where we need to submit our quest, I had to gather some water because it seems we have a hydration problem. These are all dirty water, by the way, so I need to heat them up to become clean water. Alright, so time to boil the water that I have gathered. I don't know how they magically have containers though, but this is a world of fantasy and magic, so of course that will happen. Alright, so you guys too, don't forget to hydrate. Also like and subscribe, thank you so much. Now back to our quest. I then cooked the rat meat that I have collected from all the giant rats. So now we have a rat roast to eat. And after telling Vanica that I have successfully hunted the giant rats and made myself some rat roast, he gave me a stone dagger. Okay, I kinda like fast weapons, so I'm gonna be using the stone dagger instead of our stone mace. So for the next person we need to talk to in order to learn about the game is Zanik right here. So she wants me to gather about 50 ash logs. So oh my god, 50! So I started like gathering logs on the ground, but I really should chop since I have an axe. And so I started chopping down wood. And honestly, the quality of my axe is pretty bad, so this kind of took a while. And while chopping this wood, I leveled it up. And somehow, I unlocked a skill or a spell called Astral Projection. So with this, I can summon a magical axe that will one-shot trees and cutting them down. But in order to do so, I would need to make the rune altar first and make the runes that are required to cast the spell. So that's the plan right now. Gathering some rune stones and making the runes. And so after gathering some rune essence, I crafted myself the rune altar. And with this, we can now make a bunch of runes. Right now, there's only 2 available, but as we level up our rune crafting, we unlock more runes to craft. I'll also unlock another spell called Windstep, so this thing will enable me to jump really high. Okay, so here we try the Astral Projection, and just look at this. That is really awesome. It's a really fast way to level up our wood chopping skill. We can honestly just spam this is what I thought, but there was a cooldown of like 40 seconds. And while chopping some wood, look at what I found. I found some chicken. It's time to have cooked chicken. So I tried out the dagger and I really like how fast the attack animation is. It's very fun to use compared to the club. But obviously the damage is lower because it compensates by having more attack speed. So while exploring around, I'm not really sure where I stumbled on. There were a lot of berries, cabbages, and animals here. There's even a level 2 cow here. It was pretty dang tanky, honestly. But it's not like it will fight back. We had enough stamina to defeat it really fast. And we can receive some leather and also meat from this cow. So it's pretty nice. Also got some animal bone from that cow, so now I unlock structures called tannery and a cooking pot. Let's go. I then talked to the wise old man again. I'm not really sure how he teleported himself right here. But anyways, for our next quest, we'll need to make ourselves a base. Basically make shelter and claim a bed, and that's it. That's our quest for this man right here. So I explored a bit first in the area, and while fighting this rat right here, or the kebbit, I have unlocked a new perk. Now I can do weapon special attack. So for the dagger, it's a forward stab. Also, continuing along my adventure, I saw a couple of goblins right here and their equipment looks really strong. So I had to run away because I don't want to risk dying. I really should focus on making the base now so I can respawn to like the base if ever I die. I decided that the best place to build a base right now would be just beside where the wise old man is. Because at least with this, I can just interact with them whenever I have a quest. I tried putting a bed inside, but it seems it doesn't work because it requires a roof. And I guess that's not a roof. So we gotta build our home from scratch. But since it's already like nighttime, I hurriedly try to make the house so I don't get like raided by monsters. Or I really don't like the darkness so I can see well in the morning. So I'm just gonna make like a really little cube house. So nothing fancy, just a square wooden house with roofs. And now it's time to sleep. The next day, I continued chopping a bunch of wood because I needed a lot of these in order to start making my base. I tried to see if I can use the astral projection on the logs that is broken down already, but it had no effect. It only works on trees that are standing. With all the wood that I have gathered, I was able to craft myself a bunch of chests inside my humble home. Also, I made myself some torches for light. I also did not forget to occasionally gather some rune essence that was close to my base because I would need a lot of these runes in order to continuously... And yeah, this is the wind step, by the way. Basically, you have to cast it and then you can jump really high and then glide in the air until you land. So this is very useful when going to areas that are pretty high and you need to get there. While exploring, I saw a goblin. It was alone, so I decided to fight it. I was expecting more from it. I thought it would like pose a challenge or something, but I dealt with it pretty easy. And while fighting some kebits, my attack leveled up and now I know how to make something or cast a spell called the Tempest Shield. So it will conjure a shield made out of air and it's really strong for blocking attacks. I'll show you guys the Tempest Shield once we have an opportunity of fighting an enemy. But for now, I continued expanding my base. But this time, I needed a workstation. So I crafted an extension from my home. So this will be where I put on my other workstations like the tannery, the spinning wheel, and other stuff that we will unlock in the future. So this is the spinning wheel, and thankfully in the area where we made our base, there are a couple of flax, and with flax we can make coarse thread. I then used the Tempest Shield to try it out, but I think it's pretty dumb of me to cast it right here where I'm surrounded with enemies, but thankfully it casts really fast. So with this, it honestly blocks really good. Like, it blocks like 100% of the damage, I believe. Just look at this big shield. Anyways, after the fight, I found myself a chest containing a bunch of random recipes that I can learn and also some runes and rune essence. With all the new materials I have obtained so far, I've unlocked a couple of new recipes that I can make. I'm eyeing more on like the ranger set. I'm kinda interested in using the bow. So I'm gonna go for this. Okay, so archery. Let's go. Let's see how the damage is. It's pretty... It's not really that good. I guess it's because it's the beginner level bow and arrow. Understandable. Still though, at least we're killing something in range. Also, I can shoot the rocks and it will fall down, making it easier for me to mine them on the ground. So very useful, the bow is. I then leveled my attack enough that I have unlocked a new skill. So basically, with this, we have unlocked an additional attack combo for all our melee weapons. So that's pretty interesting. I then spoke again with the wise old man, and I was dumbfounded that my next quest was to defeat the dragon that we saw in the beginning. I mean, what? Why? Anyways, my main focus for now is to upgrade my gears, and now I have the ranger pants. So there are actually set bonuses if you wear all 3 parts of a certain class armor. It's a job specific one, like for an archer set, you would have like stealth, also lower cost for using your bow. And for warriors, you would have lower stamina cost for blocking an attack, and so on. I then made myself the cooking pot, and with this we can now mix 2 ingredients together, resulting on a way better food to eat than normal. And finally, after a while of farming, I finally made the last part of the ranger set. So now we have the leather armor. And I think it looks really cool. Just look at this drip right here. It's pretty nice with the dagger. But I should make use of a shield and craft one because the air shield is just too good to pass on. After chopping more wood, I eventually learned a new rune skill called Splinter. And this is what it does. It's awesome, honestly. Very convenient. But the cooldown is same as the actual projection, around 40 seconds. I also learned a brand new mining skill called Rocksplosion. So using the forces of the earth and fire rune, I can explode something, and yeah, it's easier to grind rocks using this. It's also ores. I then crafted myself a magical staff, so now let's try and using this. So in order for this staff to attack, you need to imbue it with a rune, and currently I'm using the air rune. Equipping the fire rune, this is how the attacks look like, and oh my god, it looks so strong. The rats just, got disseminated. Currently, I'm on my way to raid a certain castle, which is filled with these goblin warriors. They are level 2, so they look like they're tanky and pretty tough. But worry not, we have our bow and arrow. They can't even reach us. It's an archer. What can you do? Melee combat, bro. Where's this dragon? Oh, wait, what the hell? Why is there a dragon here? Oh, what's that? Alright, that was really smart of me to not go there. Why? Oh my god, I'm I should leave. I think the right move is to leave. And so I hurriedly left the castle, but the dragon's attack were persistent. If I step on the green poisonous looking thing too much, I would get poisoned and it will reduce my HP by 4 per second. And it's really dangerous here, so I guess it's better that I run away instead of continuing the raid. I will continue once the dragon leaves though, but for now, let's wait for the dragon to go away. Once the dragon left, I continued my raid. I easily killed all these goblins. They weren't really tough. The dagger is so amazing. It's because of this dagger that I can easily defeat these guys. And also I can easily dodge them because I can outrun them or I can evade their attacks. I eventually found a quest item that I needed to interact with. Now we're done here. But for some reason, there's this warning that Velgar, the dragon, will descend upon the blue flame keep. So I had to skedaddle really fast out of there because I don't want to die. And what the heck, why am I being hunted now? There's so many things that's happening. It's crazy. Well, I managed to get home alive, which was pretty nice. I haven't really experienced death in the game yet, but I'm assuming it just drops my item so I can pick it back up if ever that happens. I then went on a hunt for deers as I needed their meat for food and the hide they have for some leather so I can make new armors. So this is when I realized that I can't actually level up my magic and my range skill. So it's not wise right now to level up my bow or to use a bow and magic. So I'll just use melee weapons and I will just use a melee armor set instead. Still though, the bow is very useful in killing enemies from afar. They can't even reach me if I lure them to water. On a certain hill, I found Zanik right here who gave me a quest to raid a certain area. I of course accepted the quest because I like action, so it's time to raid this area and see what's up. There were so many goblins in the surrounding, but worry not, we have our trusty bow to defeat everything. But then again, I am being hunted now and there's so many of them, I need to run away. Oh my god, I'm surrounded! So the best way to deal with this was to run away and cast my air shield, or the Tempest shield, because if they break the shield, everything gets stunned and I have a chance to kill everything one by one. Well, that is unless I screw up. But yeah, I won this fight for sure. Easy enough. After killing all the goblins in the area, I then talked to this guy right here, the cage goblin. Honestly, he did not really tell us anything important, but I believe my quest was completed by talking to this person. And so for our next mission, we need to investigate the ruins of Zanik. I then tried something that I thought I was a genius for. I needed to go to the swamp right here for my current quest. I was hoping that I would land safely because I have the air stuff, but yeah, I died. My first death. Bad decisions. Oh my god. Now I gotta go through the place where I died to get all my items back. So with no weapons or any items aside from the armors that I kept from dying, I just ran through the enemies, the swamp enemies, everything. I was just headed to where my body is, where my items are. I was pretty curious for all the items that I passed through while I was running around. So there are a lot of these swamp tars and a bunch of herbs that I found here in the swamp. So I'm pretty excited to collect these once I collected my items. I actually did not need to go to the swamp because the items that I left after dying was at the point where I jumped. So yeah, wasted time going to the swamp. My items can be recovered from here. Also, I got a recipe for a new cape. It adds like +2 defense and everything. So that's kind of useful, I guess. It looks pretty neat as well. I also got this new skill where I can enchant my weapon with fire properties. It deals additional damage as well as it can burn an enemy. So this is a really nice enchantment, and this is like one of the main spells that I keep using over and over, or else I don't really have damage. Right now, I'm just on the grind to gather a bunch of materials. So I just grab like anything that I can see. Mostly, I really need flax because I plan to make the armor set for a warrior. I also learned this neat little spell here where I just need to drop all the items that I want to repair and use magic in order to repair everything. So we don't consume any materials aside from the runes to cast the spell. It's pretty useful, especially if like we're away at home and we're like adventuring. We can repair our stuff in the go. I'm not really sure if this thing is a normal event, but the dragon keeps attacking me and I kinda don't like it. It disturbs my farming peace. Also, I can't even return home because everything is just covered in poison. After everything has settled down, I continue raiding places where there might be treasures and enemies to slay. I then finally decided that it was time to continue on with our quest, so I went back to the swamp to loot a bunch of new things. Maybe I can learn a bunch of new recipes. So in the swamp, there are enemies called the putrid rat, and if they bite you, you'll get poisoned. And being poisoned is really annoying in this game because the tick of like losing HP is so strong. So in the swamp, I was hopeful to find like ores, but all I found here were a couple of clay. And clay can be made into pots, and that's pretty useful, so we can start making some potions. But I was still hoping to gather like ores so I can make like the next set of gears because I feel pretty weak right now. I eventually stumbled upon this mysterious looking door. It's actually a dungeon. So I'm very excited to explore this dungeon. It's filled with level 2 threat monsters. There are actually a lot of booby traps in here, and I even see like a very threatening looking enemy called the Vault Guardian. Thankfully though, I can snipe it with the bow, but sometimes it gets blocked by one of the traps, so it's gonna take a while to kill this, but at least I'm killing it in a distance. And then there was this room where there were like 2 of them. I got to be careful here or else I will die. My first action was to snipe them from afar and try to kill them one by one. But as it got closer, I panicked. So yeah, things went south from here because I spammed everything and I was losing my stamina. I did not expect them to be that strong where they ganged up on me and I got, well, as you can see here, I suffered so much. So once again from my base, I ran towards the swamp, towards the dungeon where my body would be. Thankfully, the body actually spawns outside, so we don't really need to go through everything inside the dungeon to get our body back. I continued to raid the dungeon though because I'm very curious what I can get from here. Also, it's one of my quests. Okay, so revenge time with the Vault Guardians. So using my bow again, I tried killing one first. I'm so glad I did not alert the other one. But now it's time to do some melee combat. I have to buff myself up first because I don't know what to expect from a melee combat with the Vault Guardian. And honestly, I believe I overestimated them. They weren't really that tough. As long as I have my Tempest Shield, I was 100% safe from these guys. So the reward from getting to this room and defeating the two guardians, I got this thing called a Vault Core. And with the Vault Core, we have unlocked the ability to make a lodestone. Basically a teleporter that we can place wherever we want in the map. So now we finally have a waypoint to teleport to from the base and towards other areas where we put our lodestone. So I'm pretty excited to make a lot of these. And while killing some rats inside this dungeon, I unlock a new perk. It's called Enchant Weapon with Air. So not fire now, but air. So I'm pretty excited to try it out. So what air does is it increases your attack speed. And that's it. Attack speed. And it looks cool because air is surrounding it. So I continued my raid in the dungeon and oh my god, like I said, these guys actually aren't tough. As long as we're using our Tempest Shield, then we can mostly block everything they try to attack us with. Oh, and if you notice, my weapon is imbued with air, so I'm attacking really fast. I still prefer the fire though, because of the attack speed, I'm losing more stamina. After diving a bit more in this dungeon, I found another core. Let's go, so we can make 2 lodestones now. I eventually stumbled upon the end of this dungeon, and at the center of it, a gate opened. So I'm assuming that the boss is here. So I was expecting some danger here. I should have casted like Air Tempest first, or the Tempest Shield first. And yeah, as you can see, it's a giant rat. That's our boss right here. The Rat King! Oh my god. It's the Rat King. And the Rat King dies from burn. No, don't bite me! I'm pretty sure this guy has like, I don't know, poison. I have defeated the Rat King and I claimed myself another one of the core. They are pretty heavy, so now I'm currently encumbered. I actually had enough materials to make myself a lodestone, so I placed one down here at the swamp so I could come back here anytime since I haven't really finished my quest yet. There was also a lodestone from the very beginning of the map or the starting area. That's where we got teleported if you remember. So using this lodestone, I can now teleport towards here just by the use of some runes. Let's go. So I plan to build another one at my base. And while I was just chilling near my base, there was another event that happened. And yes, this is a freaking dragon again. He attacked my base. I don't like this place. I think I need to relocate my base to the starting area because I'm for sure that the dragon won't attack there because I never encountered this kind of event when I was there. So I gotta relocate everything towards that base. So we can have like a peaceful home where there's nothing happening. So that was the plan. Well, let's do it some other time because right now my main focus is to finish my quest and I really don't understand where I should be looking or what I should be doing to complete the quest. So I've looked everywhere from the swamp, wherever like the quest circle is indicating I should go, but I couldn't find anything. I instead ignored the quest for now because I just really can't figure out how to finish the quest. So I went inside this cave where there was a druid waiting. It's a level 3 threat enemy. But yeah, easily killed or destroyed by my dagger. It's almost dead. Alright, that was cool. Archery is cool. If only we could level archery, I think I would really go the path through archery. I then went back to the dungeon because I really wanted to finish this quest. I just couldn't figure it out. Anyways, same old enemy, they actually respawn. Also, the cores to make the teleporters respawn as well. Oh, let's just call it the lodestone, but teleporter sounds nice. But yeah, these things are also a great source of essence stone since they drop a lot. I explored the entire dungeon, but I just couldn't figure out how to continue my quest. So anyways, I went home and crafted myself a bunch of these kilns. So using these kilns, we can make coal from ash logs and adhesive from all our swamp tar that we have obtained. And for the application of these adhesive, we can make something called a hard leather in the future if we combine the adhesive with some leather. And I swear to God, living in these lands, or I mean living in this area, is so bad that I've been constantly attacked for the past few days. I really don't like living here anymore. Look at the enemies that are trying to kill me. It's very annoying, really. They're not really that tough. There are just so many of them. Also, not only that, there are also the dragon attacks that come frequently. So I'm gonna be relocating my base to the starting point because I hope that there's no such thing as events there. So it's now time to start our operation of changing bases. For now, I place a lot of storage and I'm gonna place all the items here. What I'm thankful for doing this is when you dismantle something, it gives you the exact amount of materials you use to make it. So I really lost nothing except time from moving my base. So my plan for this base would be a really wide area so I don't go through a room to another room. So it's gonna be just a big square house with a bed and all the stations in one area. Honestly, it took me a while to build everything, and also if you notice, I'm wearing different armor. I have a better shield as well, and I am now having a one-hand axe as my weapon of choice. So we now have the warrior armor set that I've been wanting since the start. Anyhow, I still needed a lot of wood because I wasn't finished with my base building yet. So the axe is a pretty slow weapon, but it deals a lot of damage, especially if enhanced with fire. So just look at these low-level goblins dying to my blade. Although I don't like how slow it is. I actually prefer the dagger since it's very fast. Also, remember the druid that I had killed at the swamp? So it was one of my quests with Zanik here, and upon completing it, I now have a new cape. It honestly has the same stat as my previous cape, but just different in looks. Also, I went back to the swamp, so I finally figured out how to continue with my quest. I just needed to talk to this goblin right here and we can continue with our quest. Oh my god, I totally missed out on this guy. I thought he was dead, like just lying there. It was actually an NPC that you can interact with, but there's like no icon saying you need to interact with this guy, so I was lost. Well, anyways, we can continue with our quest now. We need to talk to the old man. Before I go though, let me grab a vault core so we can put another lodestone. Let's go. Before I actually resume my adventure on the next area or report to the old man, I decided to raid the other dungeons first that was at the lower level maps. So similar to the previous dungeon, there was a guardian that was guarding here. There were also a bunch of rats and a bunch of traps that we need to traverse. As for the boss here, it's the Vault Overlord. It's basically just a giant version of the guardians that we have fought before. And oh my god, he hurts so much. I need my Tempest Shield to survive this. Like, oh. So with the Tempest Shield, we basically block all the attack that it can do to us until our shield breaks. So this is an amazing buff, I swear to god. Like, without the Tempest Shield, I've probably died to this thing like a couple of times already. But since we have it, we're safe. And look at that perfect parry. Either that was a perfect parry or my shield exploded. Anyways, we have defeated the overlord, and then we can get the treasures and also the core that is inside this room. I then continued looking for dungeons at the low level area, and this one right here is the last one. Same as the other two dungeons, just guardians guarding the place and also a lot of booby traps. But I'm experienced in defeating these guys now, so they are not a problem at all. I was honestly pretty dumb because I did not know that you can interact with the statues. And the statues actually give you some quests or recipes for some stuff. So now I have to go back to the other two vaults and interact with some statues that are holding something like this. So dang, but it's okay, we want the rune core anyway. So for the boss of this dungeon or vault, it's this Vault Archon again. This time, it's the range version. The Archon that we have defeated earlier was the melee one. So this one is the range Archon. Very annoying, honestly, because it keeps running away, then like shooting me with range. But as usual, I have my Templar Shield, which protects me from almost everything. So the quest I got from the vault led me to the statue right here. I needed to give it the password that I gotten from the vault so it can give me another quest. So I needed to charge a certain orb that the statue gave me. So I need to climb out like 3 of these pedestal or tower thingies which can charge the orb that the statue gave me. It wasn't really hard to locate them, they're just close together. But the annoying thing about this is like the dragon's attacking me again. I really hate this dragon. So the end goal is to defeat the dragon and like put an arrow in its head. For now, I'm gonna retreat home so the dragon won't disturb me. It doesn't come to this place, honestly. We're fine here. We're safe here. I don't think I die. And yes, we'll just wait for a bit until the dragon disappears. I then went back and charged the orb one more time and we have finished the quest. I then reported to the statue and it gave me a recipe for a staff. It is called the Staff of Light and it is the strongest staff in the game, or so I believe. I then explored the swamp and there was something I found here that was pretty scary. So there's this big monster here. But I'm brave enough to try and fight it. So I buffed myself up, readied my bow, and charged at it. So this thing was the Abyssal demon, I believe. And it had this power where it can teleport, which was pretty shocking. I thought it would teleport on my face, but thankfully it didn't. Anyways, the strategy here is to hide behind our Tempest Shield and try to burn it to death. The fight honestly started great. Like, I almost killed this thing. But there's always that moment where you screw up, right? Oh, this guy is not really that tough. Oh my god, never mind. What the hell? What's happening? Oh my god. Oof. It broke. Oh, it died! I totally underestimated this Abyssal demon and I died for it. But good thing I had a lodestone there so I can just teleport and grab my things. I can also try fighting it again once I'm prepared enough. Alright, so round 2 of the fight. I am fully buffed up and ready to fight and kill this thing. Right, that's an awesome move. Oh! And you're dead. That was fun. That was pretty hard, and without the Tempest Shield, we could have died like so many times. I'm so glad that we have this spell. So beating the Abyssal Demon, we got its materials, and I can also craft the Abyssal Whip. I just don't have the correct station yet to be able to craft this. Still, it's nice to know that we have unlocked a new recipe. It was finally time for me to explore the new land. So this is called the Fractured Plains. And the power level of the monsters here are level 3. A lot of new stuff that I see here. And I'm very interested in gathering everything that I can. So the first monster I encountered here is called a terror bird. Immediately I started attacking it. And I was pretty surprised that it wasn't that tanky. So if I had like fire element, I could have easily killed this. But since I didn't, it took a while because they're pretty tanky. And oh my god, the dragon is here again, ruining the day once more. Also, this place, the humanoid monsters that are here are called Garrow Hunters. They're not the goblins anymore. And these guys are pretty strong and kinda dang annoying. I think I really need that gear upgrade that I want because they hit really hard, and they're pretty tanky. So I'm hoping to get like a new type of item here that can make me craft new gears. Wait, tin. A new type of ore. Yeah, hell yeah. Alright. So with this discovery, I was pretty excited what kind of new gears I can craft. Also, by obtaining in, we now unlock the furnace. So yeah, very exciting, very exciting. Another type of monster I encountered here were wolves. And I swear, these guys are pretty annoying. Like, if you run around without, like, not fighting them back, they will keep following you for a long time. And they're pretty strong. Like, they hurt a lot when they bite you. Anyways, as long as I'm careful having my shield up, I don't think I'll die from these guys. I don't even need my Tempest Shield, but it would be nice if I had one. Probably right now, the most threatening presence here were these Garrow Berserkers. I swear to god, these guys hit like a tank. Like, it's so strong. Very tanky. So, like, if I mess up, I die. And yeah, as you can see, I'm messing up so much. Oh! Like, you need to heal. Alright. Hit me now! Oh my god, I died. I didn't have any lodestone close by, so I had to run towards my body again. And it was pretty far this time. After I got my body, I got my revenge pretty easily. So yeah. I also found a couple of these sandstone rocks. So I mined a few of them. I'm not really sure what's their use. But it's always nice to have some items. I then went home and crafted myself 2 furnaces. I'm pretty excited to turn all the ores that I've received into metals. But I don't really have a lot, so that's the problem. I need to look for more. So with some copper and tin ore that I have gotten from the new area, I can make bronze bars. Also, something new that I can make from the loot that I got there was wool threads. So I'm hoping with the wool threads we can craft new armors. I then found an area with so many coppers. I was so excited to mine everything around this place. So I of course mark every area that I can find copper and tin so I can come back here once they respawn. I also fought an elite version of the wolves called Direwolf. And oh my god, this thing is very tanky. But since we have our fire enchantment, it should pose no problem. Except that, yeah, there's still a chance that it can kill us if I make mistakes. I try my best not to and just keep my guard up. Until it attacks, then it's my time to counterattack. In one of the walls of... I'm not really sure if this is a tower. But anyways, it looks like I can mine it. So I mined it. Of course. Upon getting inside, I don't really see anything valuable. So I had to like keep a lookout until I found a treasure hidden from rocks. So of course, I exploded a rock so I can loot the treasure within. Let's see here. A couple of recipes, some essence, and bones. I totally forgot, but I had a skill where it can detect wherever there are runes near me. So you can see where the runes are by some light that is being shined through like the sky, or the ores themselves are shining. As you can see here, there are two lights, the white and the yellow one. The white one is the tin, and for the yellow one, it's the copper. So yeah, this place is filled with ores. I like how I stumbled around here. Upon returning home, I excitedly added all the ores to my furnace, awaiting for the bronze bar that it will produce. I then expanded my base because I had new stations that I can craft, so I had to chop a bunch of wood again. I also have these blue torches that I have gotten from one of the chests inside the dungeons. Or I don't know. I think some other random chest that I got from the environment. It's totally random, but the blue light is really nice to look at. So for the next station, I got here the sawmill and I can make some ash planks. So we're, slowly progressing towards new stuff. I'm pretty excited. I also got this improvement for my tannery. So now I can make hard leather using the adhesive and some leathers that I have. I also made myself the loom. With this, we can now make cloths using our wool threads or our coarse threads. And finally, I made myself the smithing anvil. And with this, we can now make the new stuff that I was excited about. And look, there's a sword. Finally, we can go for that sword and shield combo. And new armors. And also for the masterworks, we have the Abyssal whip and also the staff of light. I don't really have any materials of these, so we'll leave it for later. I continued gathering tin and copper again because the one I have is pretty much lacking. I can't really make a full set of new armor and weapons with it. I then raided this place that were filled with a lot of those Garo hunters, druid, and berserkers. I readied myself by buffing myself with a fire and the Tempest shield. They were pretty easy to handle as long as they don't gang up on me. This place was really good because there's a lot of tin and copper ores here. So I want to make sure that I killed everything here. Also make a lodestone here so I can keep mining these copper and tin whenever they respawn. Very happy for this discovery. I'm so happy that I have a real good source of the tins and the coppers. After all the gathering that I made, I crafted myself the armor. And look at this. We have a bronze armor. Yeah, an upgrade. Next is the pants. We just need some wool threads and we can make the pants. But I'm lacking on the soft animal first. So I need to hunt some animals at that new map. I then went and raided the vaults that I have already completely raided before because I forgot to interact with the statues. And interacting with this one, I got a recipe for an anti-dragon shield. It's gonna be very useful later on once we fight the dragon. I then explored the level 3 area and here I found where the dungeon is. But I don't plan on raiding it yet, not until I have a complete gear of bronze. Alright, if you notice, my pickaxe is a bronze pickaxe now. And with all the farming that I did, I finally got myself a complete bronze armor set. Also, I have a bronze sword. So the attack pattern for the bronze sword is pretty fast, honestly. Just look at this. I can slash very fast. And for its special attack, it's a stabbing motion forward. So that's very helpful to cover like distance. I use it to reset my attack pattern though because it's always a combo that ends with a finishing strike. And honestly, the finishing strike makes me very vulnerable to attack, so I don't really like using it. I love resetting it using my special attack. Forgot to mention, there are actually mannequins in the game, so you can display like your old gears at your base if ever you don't need them anymore. Sadly, for some reason, I can't put the cape in. I would like to see this in a cape, but well, whatever. I then met this ghost right here who gave me a recipe for a challenge horn. And using that horn, I can call the dragon that has been a menace to us from the start of the game to challenge it to battle. But I think I'll do that when I'm fully geared up. So I was pretty curious about the tower though. I wanted to enter, so I challenged this guard first. There's actually a trick to enemies with a shield. You can use like magic to disrupt them, and then you can fight normally. Because if not, they will just block your normal attacks as a melee character. But with magic, you actually break their stance and you can continuously try to kill them. So I easily took care of this one using my magic staff. So I guess you can say this is the area for our future boss battle, and we'll just need to place like the horn here. But we'll need to go to areas to gather the materials needed in order to make the horn. I then crafted myself a couple of these weak anti-poison potions. I needed it to explore further at a certain area where one of the materials for the challenge horn is located. So the place we're exploring right now is called the Blood Blight Swamp. And as you can see, the air here is very polluted. And without the anti-poison potion, I would die from poison. And if you see that silhouette from afar, it's another one of those Abyssal demons. I'm so ready for this. My gear has upgraded since we previously fought one. And I think this will be an easy fight since we already know how to defeat one. Just using the Tempest Shield as a block and just spam our attack and it will eventually die. Very easy to kill this thing. What is he doing? Oh. That easy. The bats here are also pretty strong compared to the previous swamp. They are danger level 3, and there is a new type of monster here, which is this plant. It's called the wild jade vine. It's a level 3 threat as well. Also in this place, I discovered a new ore type. So I can find silver and gold ores in this swamp. So I'm hoping I can craft some new equipment with this. And yeah, this place was actually loaded with the silver and gold. So it was easy to farm these types of ore. I eventually reached an area where it was a stronghold of Garo, soldiers, druids, and the berserkers. So I had to deal with them first. There was one thing I needed from here in order to craft the challenge horn. It was a blood sap from this tree that I need to get. But first, let me just kill all the enemies so I don't get disturbed. So when I tried to collect some Bloodwood sap, it seems that my pickaxe or my axe level isn't enough for this yet. Meaning, I'll need to collect an even better ore to make a better pickaxe or axe. So I guess leaving a teleportation device here would work out, and I'll just come back once I have the better gears. I then went back to the old dungeons to grind for more vault cores. I've been placing a lot of lodestone lately in the world, and I'm lacking some materials now. While heading towards the new area, I found myself some granite deposit. And by getting this, I have unlocked a new station called the Grindstone, and also a new recipe like the Whetstone, which increases our weapon attack. So this new area I went to is the Stormtouched highlands, and it's called Stormtouched because it's always raining here or having a storm. So there are new types of animals here, the sheep and the ram. The sheep is going to be very useful for its fleece because we can turn that to wool threads. As for the ram, I need the horn for the abysmal whip. you know, the material we got from the Abysmal Demon, we can make a weapon out of it using its materials. And looky here, a new type of ore. So we can now gather some iron at this place. Meaning we can upgrade our gears to iron tier. Also, the monsters here are honestly really scary because they sometimes shoot lightning. I guess they were born with it since they grew up in this place. As you can see here, they are very dangerous. They're like level 4 power level threats. So danger for sure. The Garrows here are pretty strong as well since they're also threat level 4. They pack a really strong punch and they're very tanky. But yeah, we already know how to deal with them. Still though, look at that freaking damage. I'm just like 2 shots from this guy if I mess up. And for some reason, I can't seem to get my magic attack in. So I've been struggling a lot fighting this guy with a shield. But I'm trying my best here to actually deal damage hit. But look at my damage. It's very cute. Oh my god. I will die here if I make a mistake. So better not like take any risk and just slowly kill this guy. This honestly just means that I need to upgrade my gears as fast as I can because this place is not easy. I really need those brand new gears, meaning I need to grind more of these irons. And upon going home, I immediately process all the irons that I have obtained because I wanted to see what kind of new recipes that I have unlocked. So for the gears, like I said, we have the iron set. It required hard leather, iron bars, the volt shards, and also some padded cloth. For now, I was able to make both the helmet and the pants. This will surely increase my defense against the new monsters. Also, I'm able to craft the Abyssal whip now. So yeah, let's try this thing out. So I found my first victim, the sheeps. It felt pretty strong when I whip it once, but maybe because the sheep doesn't really have that much HP. I also tried like the special attack. I don't really understand what happened there, but I think I can freeze them for a while. So this whip is honestly pretty strong. Against an actual enemy, it's okay. But I think I prefer the sword more. The damage is really nice though. And finally, I now had the complete set of the iron armor set. So look at me! Let's go! I also made myself the iron sword since I had enough. The only thing left now is honestly the iron shield. I need to collect even more iron for that. And once this is done, I can now go on and continue my adventure or also raid the vaults. Anyways, I raided this castle right here full of these Garrows. And I swear to god, I think the most threatening enemies here are both the Druid and the Berserker. Because the Druid can cast like a poison attack on you that takes HP so fast. And the Berserkers are just really strong. Plus the annoying lightning I hated. And the Druid also heals. Everything here is pretty annoying, but we'll deal with it slowly. We'll eventually kill them all. I'm dying though. And dead. But well, I came back and got my revenge. So yeah. Die. I continued on until I reached the end or the topmost part of this castle. And what was waiting up here was this Garrow King. It's a level 5 danger shield-bearing Garrow. This is a king after all, so it's gonna be hard. But well, actually it wasn't that hard. Perfect parry. Oh my god, this is such an easy boss. Oh no, not an easy boss. Oh, okay, I won. Woo! Yeah, baby. And upon returning home from my trip, I now had the iron shield. So yeah, full iron set. Let's go. I look like a knight now. Exploring more of the castle, I found this hidden area right here. And as you can see inside, it was full of those exploding poisonous plant thingies. So I hit them with the bow so I don't need to suffer from them. Eventually found a place where there were so many stone boulders that were blocking the way. So I'm hoping that I can find like a treasure trove or something. But what I found was actually even better. It was a vault. Let's go! For now, just place the lodestone here. I'm not really ready to raid vaults yet. I'm still doing some other quests that I wanted to do, so I'll come back here when I'm ready. Having my base at the starting area still gets attacked though, but only these level 1 scrubs. So they're just very easy to kill. Just one shot and it's only one group. Unlike the other places where I tried making the base where there's like a whole group of them. Like 2 squads or something. I'm really glad I transferred my base here because it's less hassle. And the dragon doesn't attack here, which is a big plus. I then found this giant blue tree and also a runestone looking rock where I interacted with it, and it gave me a quest to find the other trees that are on the west side of the map. Or was it east? Forgot. Anyways, I decided to give the vault dungeons a try on the new map. So let's see what awaits us here. I guess the only difference here from the previous vaults are the enemies are stronger, basically danger level 3, and the previous ones were just danger level 2, or was it the 1? Look at this strategy right here. I just am using like the spikes to deal damage with them, while I just block it all with like my Tempest shield. Upon interacting with one of the statues inside, I got a recipe for a paladin's helmet. Like, wow. I found the other statues as well, and by interacting with them, I got a recipe for the leg plate and the armor. So I checked out the new armor that I have unlocked, but I was surprised that they had the same stats with no extra benefits. They also required more materials than usual. So, what's up with this? Maybe it's just for looks? I don't know. It doesn't say in the description that it has like other extra effects. But I'll make it anyways before our 100 days is ending. I then went back to the Blood Blight swamp so I can chop some of these wood so I can get the Blight woods. I needed this to make a new bow. Also other equipments and stations that require this. I then went on and raided the other vault that I have found. So I can unlock even more recipes and also get more vault cores. Booby traps here are pretty complicated and it's fire, so they do like burning damage if I get hit. So it's a pain in the butt. Also for the recipes that I got here, it's for Dragonkin mage set. So I don't really play with magic, so it's not for me. For the boss here, it's a level 4 danger threat, the Vault Overlord. It's not really hard to defeat. Same as usual, just attempt a shield and we can easily beat this thing. I kind of forgot about our main quest, which was to make the challenge horn so we can fight the dragon. So I came back here to this Stormtouched lands to get some dragon tooth from the giant dragon bone that's here. But yeah, I was being guarded by the Garros, so I had to defeat them first. Now that I have defeated them, I mined a bunch of these dragon teats from the bones. So I had this recipe for a really good bow called the Hunter Stag Bow. So I'm thinking of making this one, but I needed something called a swamp thread. And for that, we'll need something called a swamp weed. So we gotta go back to the Blood Blight swamp. This recipe was obtained after defeating the Garrow King and submitting the quest back to the NPC that was requesting it. The next thing I did was located all those blue-looking trees so I can get a bunch of these anima-infused bark and also so I can finish my quest. I would need these anima-infused bark in order to make something called an anima so I can make the rare weapons or the anti-dragon shield. I then found this area where I guess future content. We can't really access it yet. There's an unknown force that prevents us from going further, but I'm pretty excited to see what comes next. Anyways, I resume my journey to interact with all these giant blue trees so I can finish my quest. And honestly, by doing so, I got myself a crystal bow. Like, look, I don't even need to make this. It's actually just the bow itself. I thought it would be a recipe that we would get. So we'll try this out on monsters and see how strong this thing is. The stag bow is stronger in terms of damage because it says like it has 4.5 something damage. Well, this thing only has 3.5. But it has a special attack called Shatter Shot, this crystal bow. So let's try it out. While I was crafting myself some wild anima, a warband decided to attack me, and they're the perfect target for the Shatter Shot. So while waiting for them to come, let's test this thing out. I'm so excited to try it out. Oh, here they are. Oh. Wow. Yeah, really good for mobbing this bow. Alright, this is a pretty nice bow. Only that, this bow can actually stagger enemies with a shield. And with all the materials on hand, I can now craft the anti-dragon shield. But sadly, it has lower block levels than the iron shield, but this provides partial protection from dragon breath attacks. So we're gonna be using this against the dragon boss. But for now, I will use my iron shield since we're not fighting a dragon anytime soon. I then crafted myself the Staff of Light. So the most powerful staff in the game, I think. And look at it. It looks really cool. It looks like a spear. And dang, look at this. So this is actually the charge attack of the air rune. I never really knew that there were charge attacks on magic. I never really touched it aside from demonstrating it from the start. I went straight to sword and shield. There was one more vault I haven't raided yet, and it was this place right here. So before we can actually access the vault, we need to find like 4 statues to interact with, or I think just 3, and the vault will open and we can enter and raid the dungeon. Heading inside the dungeon, there were so many of these poisonous exploding plant spike thingies, and it was pretty annoying, but we have our bow, so no problem. So whenever I have the chance, I always use my crystal bow because it's really good. Look, they can't even move. It's so good for like controlling the mobs. And if I want to kill a target though, like a single target, I use my stag bow. The boss of this area was actually 2 lords. You know, the Archon lords, the golems. But since I have a chance to like kill one in range, I will do it like this and defeat one. So I have an easier time fighting the last one inside. Now, I should just go inside and fight it like a true man, right? But I think this is a better choice so I don't struggle. Anyways, time to finish up the last one. I had to be careful here because there were a lot of those poisonous plant thingies inside. So I don't hit them because they hurt so much and they poison me. And I don't really like that. And I swear to God, the range Archon is very annoying because each time I try to kill it, it keeps running away. So you can do it like its range attack. Well, I eventually vanquish it and now I can claim my rewards. So upon reaching the end, I got a quest for a granite maul. You bring the blueprint to Doric. Alright, so let's bring it to Doric. Anyways, for now, I decided to mine more iron because I wanted to see how the paladin armor set would look like. So I crafted the first piece, which is the helmet. And look at this. It already looks really cool. I can't wait for the other parts. And here we have the armor. Let's wear it. Bam! Oh my god, I like it. Crazy. And lastly, we have the pants right here. So let's wear this as well. So this is now the complete set. This is how we look like compared to before the iron set on our side. Yeah, it's a really cool armor set. And like I said, it has the same amount of defense like the iron armor set. There's no special effect or anything. The next thing I wanted to do was talk to this guy regarding the maul. So now he gave me like the imbued maul head, and I guess we can craft the maul now. So let's do that before we fight the dragon. So there are 3 pieces to the items before we can craft the maul, and I slowly crafted all of them. So just one more piece and we're done. And after getting all the pieces, this is the maul. The special attack looks really cool. There's like lightning effect on this. I was thinking of like something similar to Thor's hammer but two-handed. So it looks like a really cool weapon. So let's try hitting something with this. And I found the perfect target. Bam! But I think I should test this out on something like with more health so we can see the damage. Anyways, back to our main goal. I then chop a bunch of these blood saps. I'm making the challenge horn now because it's almost the end of our 100-day journey, and I would love to defeat that dragon before it all ends. And after I crafted myself the challenge horn, it was now time to fight the dragon. So I cooked myself this meat pizza, which decreases bleeding buildup. I'm not really sure if the dragon does bleeding damage. I also crafted myself a lot of potions and a lot of anti-poisons because I did not know how long the fight would last. I'm just currently overly prepared for this fight because, you know, I'm kind of excited to defeat the dragon because it was a menace from the start. So let's rebuff everything before we start this fight. So first we need to deal with the guard right here. It isn't really hard. Using our bow, we already staggered his like shield. It's very easy. The crystal bow is amazing, I swear. And sometimes, yeah, blocking is pretty bad sometimes. I sometimes like forget to block early or my timing is just really bad that the damage goes through even if the animation is there. Anyways, we have defeated the guard and it's time to fight the dragon. I then inserted the challenge horn so I can summon Velgar. So let's start this fight. Let's go with our bow first. $181. What? That's such a high damage. Oh! Wait. It doesn't matter. I have anti-poison. That matters though. Now what? Oh my god. Let's be healthy. If it's a fire breath, I can withstand it. No problem. I have an anti-dragon breath. Oh, that's not a dragon breath. Yeah. Wow, we're so strong. Let's be healthy. I forgot armor fortification. Oh no. Oh. Ouch! I did not see that. 2 more hits? And not 2. 3. One more. You're dead. Yeah! Let's go! You're dead, buddy! He's dead and gone. And with that, we have defeated the big old dragon. Let's go and let's tell the wise old man that we have defeated the dragon. So I went and visited the wise old man. I handed over Velgar's head and then he rewarded me with a bunch of stuff. We got ourselves another anti-dragon shield, a lot of tomes, which can increase our skill levels. So the Tome of the Dragon Slayer gives 500 XP to attack, range, and magic. Finally, our magic and range leveled up. We also have this dragon visage right here. Visage or visage? Not really know how to pronounce that. But anyways, we got this. And we can combine it with anti-dragon shield to make a better shield. As you can see here, our range attack is level 21 and our magic is level 20. It's still coming soon, so there's really no upgrade yet. I then went home to craft the new shield that we can craft. The Dragon Blight Shield. It's okay, so look at this. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that's the end of our video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed your stay here. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'm definitely playing this again once there are new updates. Alright, bye now.